G'day, Leroy from Noisegate here. In this video, I've got the Arturia MicroFreak. I'm going to have a bit of a jam sesh with the Drumbrute and the Volca sample, as well as the KeyStep Pro, which is sequencing everything. I'm going to run through some patches and build some sounds from scratch and muck around with the Vocoder. So stick around and I'll see you on the other side. Cool, so one of the things I like to do with synth is to kind of just get a bit of a sequence going and then, start turning some knobs and twisting some dials and kind of see what happens. Just to provide some context, what's going on here is I have the KeyStep Pro sending clock to the Drumbrute impact, and the Drumbrute impact is syncing the Volca sample. And I've also got the KeyStep Pro sequencing the MicroFreak. So what I'm going to do is I've got an initialized patch here, pretty standard, and I'm just going to kind of get an arpeggiator going on the KeyStep Pro to sequence some sounds here, and then kind of come up with like a bit of a melodic kind of like bass line lead thing. I don't know, we'll see what happens. So I'll switch to the arpeggiator on the KeyStep Pro. Now the MicroFreak does have an arpeggiator and does have a sequencer and all that kind of thing. But in the context of this video, I just kind of want to keep it with the KeyStep Pro because it's probably one of my favorite sequencers of all time. Link in the description for a tutorial on the KeyStep Pro. All right. So I'm just going to get some notes going here. Let's just whatever. Let me up an octave. Here we go. All right, let's just record that. Cool. So the arpeggiator has been recorded into the sequencer, and I'll go to sequencer and let's play that now. Now that sounds pretty intense, so I'm just going to kind of punch a few notes out just to kind of keep it a bit more random and sort of see how that groove sounds. So boom, boom, boom. Let's just do that. All right, nice. That'll do for now. So over to the MicroFreak. So this is our digital oscillator section, and the type knob, this is where we can cycle through our different oscillator types. So let's just kind of play the sequence and cycle through some of the oscillator types to see, you know, kind of one that sort of sticks. Okay, super wave. You can change the waveform there. Sounds pretty wild. What do we got next? Wavetable. Actually, with the latest update of the MicroFreak, we can actually load in our own wavetables, which is pretty sweet, but we're not going to do that today. What else? Almo. Couple strum. Wave shaper. Virtual analog is always a good one. You know what? Let's go back to the super wave. All right, and what I think I want to do is I want to get the LFO to modulate the timbre knob, and in this instance, the timbre affects the detune. So I'll just bring that right down. I get the filter, bring it down a little bit so it's not pumping through all those frequencies. Boost the resonance a bit. There we go. Yeah, that sounds pretty sweet. Here we go. Now let's change the shape of that a bit. Alright. Now that's the detune there. And that's the wave type. So we can change the type of wave. So saw wave, square, triangle. Let's just keep it on the you know, let's keep it on the square wave. You know, some nicer harmonics going in that. So this is our matrix here, and this is where we're able to kind of like send you know, modulation sources to particular destinations. So what does that even mean? Well, let me show you. So if I use this knob here, I can cycle through and say LFO to modulate the timbre of this. And so that's going to be the detune. So I'm going to click and enter in a value. So I want a fair bit. So, yeah, maybe not 100%, but, you know, that much. And then I'll go to the LFO and change it to a saw wave, and then we'll change the rate to 4. 1/4. Cool. So you can see like every kind of like quarter step, we get that extra detuning because it modulates that knob there, which is really nice. Now let's apply a little bit of glide, so it glides from one note to the other. Now let's see what we can do with this cycling envelope. So this is probably one of the real sort of standout features of this synth is the cycling envelope. It's essentially just like almost like another LFO in a way, because we can have the cycling envelope sort of perform in different ways. So we've got envelope, so it'll just be kind of like, it'll just act as a second envelope. Run, which means it will we can create like a modulation pattern for the cycle that it runs, and then we can create one that will just continue to loop. And so let's just keep it on loop. We'll draw the amount right up, and then we'll go to the matrix, and we'll go cycling envelope to modulate the cutoff filter. All right, and we'll bring that value quite a fair bit up, and let's just see what happens. Might sound good, might not sound good, but you know what? That's why I like this synth, because you can just kind of muck around and always come up with something really, really interesting. All right. If I draw out the decay, I'll bring the filter right down. Yeah, okay, hear that? You hear that? It's really just like modulating that cutoff filter in a really fast way, and this will dictate the rise in time. And that's pretty much all I really wanted to do with this right now, is just a little bit of cycling envelope on that filter and using the LFO to modulate some of the parameters on the digital oscillator. From here, what I would do is I would just like record for like 10 minutes in my digital audio workstation and just dice up individual portions and just place that throughout my track. I'm really not like, you know, too concerned about saving this as a patch. I just kind of want to like record it in and go. I love how immediate and hands-on using this synth is, and just being able to kind of just like dial in some things and really just kind of go for it and just see what I come up with. So there you have it. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, just bang them in the comments below. I'm gonna make a cup of tea and we'll see you next time.